welcome to something a bit different for TrainSim World. Anyway, yeah, we're on TrainSim World. Technically we're in TrainSim World 5, but this won't go out until TrainSim World 6 is released. After that is released, I should say. But this will be a small break-in tutorial. We've got and we're mostly looking at trains here and multiple units that don't have a normal break, pretty much. So all these have obviously a play and hold section area. So we've got obviously the ALP here, which comes with obviously the new route for the Huntington line, which I will admit getting its live stream done tomorrow as I'm doing this. We've got the 363, the F40 for Peninsula Corridor. It's noisy. Not the MBTA one because that doesn't have this type of brakes. The 101 G6, the 365, the E94, the 120 over here, which is the same as that technically, but I'm going to do one each. Then we've got two steam locos. Well, you may wonder why we've got that. We've got vacuum brakes, which is totally different, as well as it were, and then we have got the Westinghouse for the air brake as well, which you can hear in the background. And also, if you don't be looking at all this as well. So, all these I will pick in to do in a service mode. But without further ado, I will edit this and get into them videos to do those bits. I don't know which one I will do first, but it will be one of these lot. So I will see you in that. So don't forget to like button, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And let's get into this. Moving on. In the ALP, I'm going to turn all this on because I do anyway. And just get the train set up to actually leave. So we've got to do obviously forward. Anyway. So double check everything's on. Front end lights on bright. Crossing lights should be on auto. Rear lights don't need you. Panel glass should be up. So obviously in here we've got, they should be in theory set up. So brakes are cut in. So the main gauges are obviously over here. And I'll let you see the red on the first one. His side is the red is the main reservoir and white is the equalizing. The brake cylinder is this one with the red, and the brake pipe is that one, is the white one. So what I'm going to do is flung that brake on, the Lyco brake on. So you now will see if I put it into lap. Not much is going to happen. They are going to hold. We'll just do a little bit, but it will hold the brakes, but release pretty much everything else. To make it a little bit quicker to get away. And then obviously fully off will release them fully. But we've also got the independent brake on, which is the loco brake. So automatic is the train brake. The independent is the loco brake, but this does also have a dynamic power control with B1 and so forth. So let's get out of it, and I'm going to do the proper thing of getting out of it. So we've also got a bail off on here as well. So I will get going, and then we'll see you there. What we'll do is put that into context. No, I won't look anyway. to say this will work with the cab car as well, just to point out. Because the cab car does have the exact same brake system. So as we can now get up some speed now, anyway, it's easier. That's about up to 80, right. So obviously I'm going to go a little bit of the safety systems as well. So we've got 80, we're capable of doing 80 if I get that up there. That bit there is the giveaway speed that it allows without having a complete paddy at you. But this ain't for safety systems, we're mostly talking about that side of things. So I'm going to get some decent speed going, which is a little bit more than 50, we'll go over 50 definitely. So let's just twiddle your thumbs around and I can get there. Up to that one, we're not going to edit this out because why not? So what I'll do is once we pass this signal up here, whatever the speed is, we will use. So, right, the power's off. If you're, so you obviously to brake, you have to get it up into series. But then you don't want to brake any harder. Put it into hold or lap. Pretty much it's lap what you need. So let me just release that. And just to point out, you can just leave it in lap. That probably isn't prototypical to do, but you can do that in the game. So pretty much it's quite simple. Apply, hold, or lap in this. Manually lapped brakes, these are called. In this sense. So I'm going to get a bit more speed on this because you need a bit more speed for this one. So, how to get it into, obviously, to not have that moan at you. Pretty much you need to hold it in there for a little while, and eventually you'll find it, do that, and that's exactly where you want if it moans at you, the safety system. So, and then you may notice the brakes do release slightly as dynamic brakes pick up. So once again, release. Dynamic brakes will come off, the air brakes will come off. So it's pretty and easy. It is simple, to be fair. You just got to remember to put it back into lap after applying the brakes. Everyone on the train is going to wonder what the heck is going on. But there, so it will just make it a lot more easier for you to think of, pretty much. So it will just do it, pretty much. So just to put it into perspective, we're coming up to Hamilton here. So apply, back into lap. Just under 40, which is actually quite decent. Dynamic brakes cut in. Put the barrel on because we're coming into the platform. We're coming in at a quite decent pace. We're probably coming in a bit too hard, so release the brakes. As it's American, you do have the tendency you could run out of air, just to point out. So you do need to keep an eye on what the brakes are doing as well. Once again, apply again, back into lap, which holds the brake at where you want it to do, and then blends the dynamic brakes into it, And if we actually stop bang on the mark, I will laugh. No, we're not. But that's how you would do it. Then hold will do as it says on the tin and pretty much hold you where you are. Hold is never to be used. You don't want to use hold to stop too much. It's like the hold situation on the 72 stock and the 38 stock. So, with that part done, I'm going to move on, and we're probably going to have a quick look at the cab car as well, just so you can actually see what I mean by that being the same. So I will see you in that one. So we're in the cab car for the that comes with the ALP, and it will be with obviously all the others, all that can go on. Obviously, quickly set this up as you do. Right. So once again, we've got brake cut in and cut out. Press cut in because we need them cut in. If they're not, headlights on bright, and in theory, instrument lights are somewhere. Auto, sanding, headlights on bright. Faults. Something tells me that's going to get used a lot more soon. Who's next? The cab light, gauge light, maximum that. Oh, that's on. Good. Don't want you on. So, once again, we've got the same brakes, same exact gauges, same speedo gauge. We're actually again. So we've got obviously this time the actual loco on it is on the rear without tail lights on by the looks of it. Oh no, they are. And we're obviously in the very front. Give me number 3, please. Thank you. On the keyboard. So we've got tails on for some stupid reason. Marker lights off, please. Thank you. That's better. Right, that's set up as it should be. The bottom lights are these, by the way. I'm on bright, so we don't have to worry. We've got a window. Safety systems are down here. So all that will get used. Don't ask why that door's open. It probably shouldn't be open. That should be the guard door, I believe. Or conductor door. So obviously, same as last time, we've got hold and release and lap. This time we don't have a loco brake. So obviously the brakes are charging. That's what that's doing. And now releasing. We've got power. We'll take a bit of time because we're in the opposite end. And off we trot. We won't go the whole way to Hamilton this time though. This will be just a quick one. I will just get us up to line speed, the 15. Which I will admit, I'm actually not using the HUD. I'm using the actual train itself. So I'll do 14. So like last time, we got lap and hold, and also service, which will do the exact same thing. Brake the train and then release. You do have an emergency and off positions as well, which you won't find these in on a service, but off and emergencies up there. So yeah, it's the exact same. So you don't have to worry about that when for driving the ALP in on the Hamilton line. So I will move on to the next thing, and I will see you in that one, which will be different because this is going to be the only electric in US. Okay. As we move on to the next one, so we move on into the 363 once again. I'm just going to turn that on just for me. Anyway, so we're going to get this set up. We're not in shunting, we're in long distance, please. So we've obviously got a loco and a train brake, which is coming in off. front headlights going to be on. So I have got safety systems on. So to start with, we've got the loco brake, which is the direct brake in this. This won't be doing anything because we've got a train brake currently off. So if I just put that into, not right, into off, and release the brakes fully. I have done this service before, so you can see the brakes have changed. Right, direct brake. So this one's a lot more freeness until that point. Then it will be apply, back, apply, back, and then release. And you can deban release or not. So obviously that's now in driving. We've got full brakes off. We've got a train behind us. So there. In theory, this is probably around the same sort of controls that the two will have. No, we're in long distance game, come on. Might be handy if I turned on something over here, wouldn't it? The master key dimwit. Thank you. Right, well, that's better. That's me forgetting how to drive the train. So this here will work in any of the 363s, just to point out that's in the game. Which is a few now. And it will work on, obviously, the Dresden to Leipzig route, which technically we're on, we're at Riesa, so if you are curious, it goes off this way. So we're not safe to release. I can't actually see who we're wiping away. Just to point out, that does absolutely nothing. You can just play around with that. Just going to check which brake I've got. Train brake. When you've got something behind, never use that. That's the loco brake. Don't use it. You're not going to have much power with brakes on that one. That one you will. And on this one, it's the only train in the game. That was close. You have got the capability of locking the wheels up. I can't remember where the C-fly is on this thing. Oh yeah, it's that on there. So I'm going to get out of Riesa. Okay, perhaps it's not. Well, lighting's not working. Obviously. Because what I need is to get some speed up so we can actually do some brakes a bit easier. Because as we've got a train behind us, it's going to take a little while. Because obviously the train takes a while. So if you're on last gen console hardware, this is on the Expert 101 timetable, but the base timetable for the route is probably going to be the best one for you. For this will be this route, not Leipzig. So this does have that as a carpet hook, but it doesn't matter, as it were, as long as you've got an air hose connected. I'm going to have to do see-through every time it goes like that. Right, last bit. So we will struggle for path to get anywhere because we're not obviously a train itself. We're just a diesel shunter. or a switcher if you're American. So I'm going to allow us to get past, say, that signal, which is the opposite, facing the opposite way for bi-directional running. So fully released, off, idle that, so that's off. So when braking on this one, you have to put it into lap through off, then apply. And just to points can count, don't brake too hard. So that was perfect. If you brake hard, you've got the possibility it might not work on this, but there you go. To do that. That is a wheel flat right bang there for you. So release that. It will take a while to release again now, but you've got the gist of that one. Don't brake hard. So what I will do is quickly go on to the 365, which is pretty much this, but a little bit different. The older version of this. And I will see you on that one. That signal is probably going, what the heck is going on? So welcome to the 365. I'm going to set the train up properly, as it were. So we're going to be in long distance. And instead of last time, we are going to take in reverse. And we are light loco. I don't want front headlight going. So that on. So obviously, while we're waiting, I'm just going to set the train up for that to allow to have it, because I believe there is a red signal behind. Oh, and it's on that should be. So we've obviously got a slightly different. We've got Endozy instead of Edoozy. Instead. Oh, hello. We are on A3. So nothing's different apart from obviously where we've got neutral instead on the bike. So I'm going to allow that to release. So we don't need that. We need this one more. That's because we are like loco. There is a cheeky signal there, and yeah. We can't do much until we clear that off. It's a shame this doesn't actually have a tail light on. That works. Because that there should be the tail lamp. If you are curious, we're not picking up anything. This will just be a quick one. And plus this will show the loco brake pretty much now. So, fully released. So unlike obviously P2P, there's no monitoring. None of these brakes are manual, are they? Good. Right, we're cleared out fully anyway. And you may notice we're taking off a lot more easier. Right. So, I'm going to get up to, say, just before, a little bit into 30, so that'll do. So that's done. So obviously we've got the loco brake this time, so hold. And simply remembering that you don't have a train behind you, so you are going to brake a little bit easier. But the train brake will do the same. It acts on the same gauges. But what you got to think of is little bits here and then, little and often, like a steam engine. and you will perfectly come to a stop. Fair enough, we're going a bit fast, but you do still have the chance to lock the brakes up though. So I will just leave it on that one. So we will move on to the next thing. Caltrain will be last, and there might be more than one part to this. There might be. So moving on. So welcome to a very bouncy 101. Turn that on and go over here quickly. Turn that on. Right. So sit down here, open those doors. And so before we do anything else, put that on. So we've got, this is vacuum brakes, not air brakes, and also this is a geared train, not anything else. So put you onto white. You can go on. We're going to Morecambe. So I will find that one here quickly. I'm not going to bother going down to the other end. Morecambe. I think that should be perfect. Let me out. Kind of. Anyway. So this ain't to drive this is only the brakes side of things. So we're fully applied at the moment, so we can't apply anymore. I can release, hold, release, hold. So I'm going to hold it at about 15, which is actually a decent braking point for when you're stopped at a station, to be honest. It will hold you, even on a slight downhill, it will hold you perfectly. What you got to remember though, on this, we have got normal clamps. So at high speed, you will struggle to brake. So I'll just check, do we have, I'm going in front of us, that's a normal one of those painful signals. Anyway. One that doesn't clear even when, does it clear like that? You see, well, good. I'm just going to do that, so release filling. Oh, off we go. So just to point out, I'm not using the shortcut to get it back into lap. I don't use that, I do it properly. So I'm going to allow us to get out of here, then get it going a bit more before I do the brakes. You can turn obviously the dial on. There's going to be a good reason why I'm just going to try and get up to line speed, get up to some speed, not line speed because we won't be getting that far. I will admit this is on the military timetable, so if military train shows up, it shows up. And just to point out, 21 is the brake off for vacuum. Right, we're in gear 4 now, so I'm just going to coast. So you've noticed, well, obviously we've got a yellow signal, so you go, better brake for that. If you just find out in the real 101s, if you leave it in nap, the brakes did have the tendency to bleed on. Release. It will go back a little bit, and then the brakes will clamp slowly. Obviously, the harder you put them in, it will do more, and you can do little movements, as you can see, and get quite a decent stop, to be honest, and smooth stop. And obviously do that to release. So if you stopping, there's not an emergency setting on it. Emergency setting is doing that. That's the emergency brake. Just to point out. So if you are curious, if I go down here, put that back into. Let me in the calculator, put that back to 1. Just so they can get away easier. In theory, release. They should actually move. There you go. Proves that they've released because we've all them. So even they are modelled to work as well. At least on like this, it does, and I think Tees Valley does as well, but not the Northern Trans-Pennine version. So I will move on to something else because that was a quick one, and I will see you in that one. G6. I can't play for all of that. So obviously this one. Where do we go first off? Forward. So we've got a loco brake, we've got a train brake, we've got cruise control as well, and we have got power brake handle here as well, which is just dynamic brakes. Apparently I've never used the instrument lights into this one before. Anyway, so quick release and full release. Loco brake is also released. Good. This is pretty simple to drive. I don't know why the brake decided it wanted me then. So I'm not going to be too bothered about trying to stop but there on that mark, but we have got train brake and loco brake. That'll do. I haven't driven this for ages, to be fair. Does it want me to stop down there? So I'm going to put that back into hold. So it's, you have to press backwards and forwards pretty much. The normal brake lever for this, or won't be the. They are on the control all-round keyboard available, but you can see the brake gauge is down there. Now I have to get that to go so we can go. To be honest, dynamic brake on this will probably never get really too much of a usage. Obviously this is a loco that Epic Games isn't having. Very loud horn on the outside it is. So a couple up to these, and I drag them forward so you can see the train brake itself as well, not just the loco brake. As we shunt up to these, in theory there might be someone really raving us onto the train, but oh, they're not modelled. Apply, hold. Apply, hold. Obviously you can drive this from the outside. Apply, hold. Apply, hold. Grind them slightly, bounce off of them. Little bit of power just to get us moving. Creep up a bit more, creep up a bit more. That'll do. Anyway. I want the forward. I want a bit like that then. Forcing this one, that needs to be off. So, fully released, full released. It's going to need a bit more power this time because we've got something holding us, all to haul. Sounds very nice as well. Right, that'll do. So we're backed off. We've got the loco gate. So double check wheel and train brake. So we've got hold, apply. Remember to look at the brakes every time. And obviously, once again, we've got, as we're hauling something, as a regional service so display, you do notice that we haven't got a strong brake. And remember, this is doing the whole train, that would just do the loco, so you would be braking. So that's how smooth you can, that's how that brakes does. Release does it slowly, that will do it quick. So, let's move on to the next one. Moving on. Well, hello to the OBB 1020. Where we are obviously going to do all brakes. First things first though, let's get this set up. Don't need train heating. And that. Finally, headlights can go on. All of that should be. Get that on. So, obviously in this one, unlock the brake, put it into running, then lock that pin. We've also got a loco brake, so I'm just going to put it into application 1. So this just has that as a brake. This does have the release and apply stage. So I'm just going to get out of here. So release and overcharge. Put it into forward and get going. The E94 or the BR194 has got the brake that is totally different to this. This is probably going to be the easy version to drive out of the two. So I'll just get some speed and get out of it. Obviously this does have dynamic brake, but you need to put that from O to B for braking. So obviously we're going up a hill, so we are going to lose some speed at the same time. Just to prove that this is just a normal brake, we've got that and then normal service areas. Shut up. So obviously if I go into loco brake, it will be like that. And like I said, we're going up a slight incline there, so the loco brake will in fact take hold a bit more quicker. So don't know why the camera puts me at the back for, but that shows how this one is. So I will move on to the E94 and it will be totally different. Just so it puts any aspects out there, just in case people think this is the same, I'm just showing it. Moving on is slightly different than its counterpart, as it were. I'll set that up, unlocked. I will leave that into lap for now because we can't go anywhere. Normal, just making sure that everything is set up, which we are. So once again, we've got the same type of brake, but we've got obviously the lap and apply state on a brake this time. We have got an empty train as well. There has to be some coming on the past the stopping lines, and come on, get your ass here. So, like last time, we have got all of that. So we'll just turn that on now. Blow on the slow as well. So everything is now fully set up and ready to go. Right there on. So as we've got a train as well, you will notice that the brakes will take a little bit longer to release. Where is this solid thing anyway? Oh, that's it. It's almost there. We have put a handbrake down there. obviously currently the E94 has only got scenarios. It's not got a timetable layer in yet, but the BR194 does, and the brakes in theory are the same. I haven't actually looked at that one yet, but they should in theory be like this or like the OBB 1020, so there won't be much of a difference between it. It will be one of the two. But as it's a freight train, it's going to be a lot more better off to show all here because the brakes will take a little while to release and so forth. So the signal's up there, so clear off. Go on. Signals have now changed, right, good. So just to prove the brakes will take a while to release. And that's where light loco, we probably won't need too much power to go. Not light loco, empty load. So the brakes are fully released, and with air brakes, not vacuum. So I'll get us going and then we'll brake. I thought I turned the headlights on, but obviously didn't. Anyway. So you got to remember, notice if you're driving in the opposite direction, you do have a full load, and you will have a slight problem with braking. And if you're on Epic Games, obviously you'll not get this timetable. So you've got pretty much the 218 in the mint green for absolute no reason. I'm correction, I don't even think you have the 218, do you? Right, I'm going to get up to about 50, then it's easier. Just over, and we are going up a slight hill. One more full turn. Give it until past, not that one but the next one. And fully off. So, obviously we're not going to use dynamic brakes, but once again dynamic brakes by doing that. They're not combined in the braking. So neutral, lap. So now you are, so what, say you want to stop soon, just do apply, fold, into lap, or run in as if it's a steam engine. And keep doing that. You hear the brakes are now pinched, as it were, and they are now going. I call it pinched even though they're not on here. So more brake. So more brake. Obviously emergency, there is an emergency brake setting on this. So I'm just getting, now it is forward. There's the emergency brake as well, if you are curious, which dumps the full air pressure completely out the system. And just to prove that it takes forever to release, Well, you got to remember though, that is what the train is showing. The loco itself. That isn't. Holding quick release, it will help it release a bit more quicker. Then obviously, get the power on. And off you trot. Once again, if you're holding a loaded train, which I see that ain't either, it will take a while to release. Don't ask what our pedal is on the floor for. Anyway. So. I will now move swiftly on to the next thing. Which is going to be... Yeah, okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. So. Moving on to the next thing. I will see you on that one. So, I will see you there.